Hi. During the past weeks, I've taught you a lot about fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and risk management, and you've probably reached a point where you want to start to apply the things that you've learned into practice. You have knowledge about investing and trading, but you actually want practical experience. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through TradingView, which is a website that you can use to analyze data with and actually trade with. So by the end of this video, you should know how to do charting with TradingView, how to analyze market data, what kind of indicators it has, and how to actually place a trade. So yeah, you will be able to analyze market data and successfully place a trade using TradingView. And I've already touched on this a little bit, but I think yeah, teaching you and walking you through TradingView is very important because a very large portion of the entire learning experience does not come from theory, learning from books, learning from videos, but just from applying the skills that you've learned in practice. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's dive into it. The first thing I want to show you in TradingView is what's called a stock screener. This is essentially a list of all publicly traded companies, in this case in the US, and you can filter them yeah, on different variables. So this is a list of all the 8,304 companies that are publicly traded in the US, and you can filter on many different things. So, for example, you can say, I only want to see companies that are worth 200 billion or more. 47 left. You can say, okay, of those 47, I also only want to see companies with a PE ratio of more than 50. Well, then you click on this, and then there are just 10 companies left. And you can, yeah, you can use the screener to look for great investment opportunities, good ratios, good performance, good expectations, etc. So when we click on NVIDIA, we are going to dive a bit deeper into the actual market data of this company. So right here you have an actual just a general overview. You can look at some company information, some basic financials. Um, but obviously we want to dive a bit deeper into financials, so we click on the financials here. And you can look at the statement filings with the SEC, dividend information, earnings information, revenue information, you name it, to really analyze a company fundamentally. So you can look at the ownership, how many, insiders hold shares, how many outsiders hold shares. You can look at the capital structure of the company, the development of the valuation ratios over time, as you can see here, PE ratio, PS ratio. You can look at the growth of the company, of the revenue, of the net income, of the margins. You can see how the company converts the revenue into profits. Right here, you can see that the cost of goods sold of NVIDIA is significantly bigger than the operating expenses. Well, that's interesting to know, I would say. You can see where the company earns money from in terms of revenue. So you can really get a good idea of the fundamentals of the company. And when you have a good grasp of the fundamentals, you probably want to have a look at the technicals. And you can do that on the super chart function in TradingView. So right here, you can see all the price information, not just for a stock, but you can also look for funds, for bonds, for forex pairs, for futures. So let's say we want to know more about the gold price. Well, we go to futures, we click on gold futures, and right here you see exactly what the price of gold does. You can change the time frame, which essentially means one candle represents what period of time. So in this case, one candle is 4 hours, but you can also change that into a day and back into 4 hours. Right here, you can determine what kind of candles you want to see. Do you want to see hollow candles, or do you just want to see a line? And change it back to candles again. So these are all things you can do. You can draw on the chart, for example. So you can take a trend line here, and you can draw through the highs, and you can draw through the lows to assess whether there's an uptrend or a downtrend or sideways trend. Well, in this case, the highs are getting higher and the lows are getting higher, so this is clearly an uptrend. And in order to confirm this, as I spoke to you about in a few videos ago, you want to have a look at indicators. So you click on indicators and you can look for indicators. For example, the RSI. So you just type in RSI, you click on that once, and then you see the RSI here. So you can assess, okay, the RSI is at 67. Well, it's close to being overvalued. We have to keep an eye on that. Well, let's have a look what the MACD says, for example. So you type in MACD, you select MACD. Okay, histogram is positive, bullish momentum, and you can look at all these indicators. You can look at the Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci, moving averages, you name it, to come up with an informed technical investment decision. And yeah, once you have the information you need, you can start placing a trade. So on the bottom here, you would just click trade, and you can place a sell order or a buy order, a market order, execute at the next best possible price, a limit order, only execute once the price is under a certain number, and then a stop order, which means execute once the price has reached a certain point. And yeah, so for example, if I want to place a market order for 1 unit of gold, well, you can say I want to have a take profit at 100 ticks, stop loss at 50 ticks for a risk reward ratio of 2 to 1. Um, it shows you exactly what your order info is, how much margin you need, etc. And then you just click on buy and the trade is executed. So yeah, this is the most important information you need to know. Yeah, you know how to screen for stocks, how to look at them fundamentally, and then technically in the super charts. And yeah, I would encourage you to just open TradingView and play with it a bit. And yeah, we're approaching the final part of the video. So this is also the final part of this 6-week series. I've really enjoyed making the videos. I hope you've enjoyed watching them. Um, I hope you learned a lot. I definitely did. And yeah, I really want to thank you for watching and see you next time. Thanks.